Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of TTS today, and I'm very excited once again to show you an introduction to our 2.0 platform. And we've been getting a lot of calls about our CRM section since it does have probably the most differences from the original 1.0 version. So I'm going to go over that today and hopefully answer all your questions on how that works, how it's different. So without further ado, let's move over and I will show you a comparison of the two real quick, and then we'll go deep into the CRM section of TTS 2.0. See you in a second. Okay, so here we're looking at our 2.0 version of TTS, and let's go to CRM, and notice you have the drop-down list on the left. That's where your menu location is. If I go to the old version, when you clicked on one of the items at the top, the menu items would just show below. So main difference is you have your menus on the left side, but all the options are there. So let's go back to the new version, and I'm going to go through each screen, give you a little synopsis of the things that changed, and I'm going to create a sales call entry. By the way, the CRM in TTS is, as you know, customer relationship management is what CRM stands for. We like to actually refer to it as a managing outside team activity. So it's a way to record your day-to-day activity onto the system that anybody can see. So we've made it a much easier way of adding this information without complicating it with all the CRM information that a lot of other systems provide. So, but ours gives you everything you need to really track your activity from day to day. And anybody can run reports and see this information, which is great. And again, when you get into some of these screens, I'll show you that we can have the ability to shrink and expand so they work nice on mobile devices as well. So let's go into the first one, contact file search. That was brought over from the old system and basically gives you a way to search for your contacts. So for instance, if I needed to see everybody starts with the letter A, I could type that in and you'll get a listing of all your contacts with the letter A. Couple of nice things on here. As you can see, everything highlighted in blue is a hot link. So I can actually click on the email address, for instance, and it will open up my email client and put that information in there so I can send an email directly from this screen without having to copy and paste it, open up Outlook, as well as phone numbers. So if you have a program, mine is GoTo. I don't have it running right now, but it will actually open up a phone call app that you have on your computer, or if it's on your cell phone, it'll just open up your calling app on there. So a quick way to get to that information. So, all right, so now what you really came here to see, sales call entry. So, sales call weekly recaps is what we called it on the old system. Now it's just a sales call entry, and you will see a lot of differences here, and that's why we wanted to create this video in the first place. So one, it opens up to today's view and 225, and notice I do have one item. It won't show you the weekly items until you click on this view week, so let's actually do that right away. So if I needed to see the week in review per se on one screen, I would go to the beginning of the week here. We don't have anything here, and I can click on view this week, and it will give me all the information on that week right at on this main screen here. So we could scroll through if it's larger than this, and then I can go back just by clicking on sales call entry, and it'll default back to our today's date. So it's setting us up right now for a brand new entry. So what we're going to do here is I want to enter some information. So first I want to enter my daily mileage. So I can click on that. Actually, I had some mileage already on here, but let's create a new entry. So I'm going to do aluminum wire again. Let's do customer name. So notice here we don't have a drop down. And also we don't have a listing of different salespeople. I am logged in as a rep, and that happens to be salesperson named Matthew. So anything that I start typing in here, so as you see, I know is going to be under Matthew's name. If I wanted to see everybody's customers, I can click all and then start typing in. So B will give me Baker, for instance. If I wanted to enter information for Baker, I can. If I'm going to see a customer on someone else's behalf, I can do that. But just remember, when it's view all as unchecked, you're looking at the current logged in salesperson. So again, I'm going to do SEC, and I know there's a Luke in here. If I needed to add multiple contacts, I would check this box and notice how it expands my section here. So I can type in Luke. I can type in John. So I know there's a John. And now I have 2 contacts that were listed on here. If you do not have a contact listed for this and you just want to put in any random name, I could just click on Not from Contact File. Then you could just type in any information. When these are checked or this is unchecked, it will look at your contact list for this particular customer up here. Topic. Let's do a copper promo. And if you have a value, so if you know there's a value on this call, you can put it in there. It's not a required field. Purpose. Again, the more information you type in here, the more information you'll have when you look back on this sales call. So again, this is not really necessary. You can just log the call. This gives you some information on what you did at that particular customer for that day. And then if you had some results, maybe purchase, you can type that information in here. So once this is all said and done here, again, I already have mileage in here. So if I want to change my mileage, I can go in here and let's say 50 miles for the day. This was a second call, and I'll update the mileage, and I would save my entry. Okay, so editing this earlier item, I can go back in there if I needed to make any changes to it. If I realized that I needed to add another contact or change topics, you can always do that right here. And then you would click on Update Entry, and it would update this existing entry. If you didn't want to change anything, you decided, you know what, this is fine, I can just hit Reset Entry, and it'll go back to the version before any changes were made. Edit, you just saw. Email. Once I click email, my default email is going to be my Outlook. So it brings that up. So again, this is a quick way to send this information to anybody in the organization or anybody anywhere if you want to send this out. It gives you a brief synopsis of everything you typed in a simple text format. And I would type in any different names in here, and they would show up, and then I could just send it like a normal Outlook. A calendar, if I want to add it to my calendar, what will happen is it will create a ICS file. So let's go to save that. An ICS is just a file that can be imported normally into a calendar program, and it's opening up Microsoft Outlook on the left-hand side, and you'll see what it did was it's going to create an appointment or like a meeting in your calendar, or give you the ability, I should say, to do that. Okay, change your date information in there, and you can set up your reminders. So if you want to be reminded about this outside of the TOE system, we do have the ability to add reminders in like a to-do list using our action items. That's going to be another video, but this is outside of the TOE, or TTS, I should say. And you can add that to your Outlook calendar as an appointment and be notified. So that's kind of a nice feature. And delete. I don't want this. We can just delete it out of there. Okay. Now moving on to reports. So I'm going to go down through each report. And again, all these are reports that are shown in the 1.0 system, we just moved them over to the side, and they work exactly the same way. So sales call detail, you'll get a nice, simple screen here to adjust our dates. So let's go to the beginning of the week to today. And I want to see a sales call. Now, I did mention this in our overview video. You have the ability to look at a standard or a spreadsheet, and I'll show you what each one does. So let's keep it on standard for now, and let's do a view of the salesperson. I know this one is Matthew, so let's see if we can pull up Matthew's name. By the way, this filter is just that, a quick way. If you have, 20, 30 salespeople, instead of scrolling down, you type it in this filter box, and it will limit the amount of names in there. If you need to see all of them again, you just click on that. If you only want to see the ones that you selected and you had a bunch of them, so let's say I have Matt, choose that, and I have another salesman I want to type in, Chris, for instance. And then I hit view selected. Notice that you'll see both of them in there. I don't need to see Chris, Matthew, and then you click right up here, create report, and we should see, based on the dates, everything that was entered in for that week. So I had 2 today, I had 1 on the 22nd, and 1 on the 21st. And it gives you a simple way of viewing that information. You can download to Excel if you need to save a copy of this. Return will bring us back to the entry screen, and let's show you what the spreadsheet view looks like. Type in Matthew, and by the way, I could choose that customer. You have other options. You can choose by vendor, by topic, customer type, all those listed here. I'm just choosing the salesperson. Create report. Now you get a nice simplified, it's kind of compact, might look a little better on a mobile device. Okay. And it's easy to see that information. And if I had some results, if I had a value, all that information is shown on here. Okay. Let's return. And we're done with the detail. Next will be sales calls history by customer. So now I'm going to type in the customer. So this one was SEC. I could type anything in. Now again, this is giving us a list of only my customers. So when I start typing it in, I'll only see my customers. And this is going to give me a history report for everything on that customer. And I have the 3 items that I entered. So that shows up there. So a quick way to get a sales call history report by customer. A sales call frequency is a report that's great to show the distributor, so you can see the time between calls, how often you visited. If they say you haven't been here enough, where have you been? We can actually show them that we actually have called on them. So let's go back to January. Let's choose all, so we get a nice report with a lot of information. So again, this is laid out 2 different ways. We have the standard layout and the spreadsheet layout. This allows us to do it right after the report has been completed. So I like the spreadsheet view. This way you get to see everything right up front here. So for instance, a distributor, time since last call, half a week. Average time between calls, 1.82 weeks. So we just went to this call less than a week ago. That's why it's showing 0.43 days. 0.43 weeks. We can sort by clicking on any of this information here. So if I wanted to see who gets the largest number of calls, a distributor does. The average time between, I could sort by clicking it twice. By the way, it's sorting low to high, high to low. So we can get that information right here. You can download this to Excel if you want to, manipulate this data a little more and put it into a report form to bring with you. Hide call dates if you don't need to see the call dates, but you just want this information. That might be better on a mobile device, for instance. You can do that. And there is your sales call frequency report. Last report, people seem to like this one as well, is your mileage report. So I want to see the mileage that I've done for a certain period of time. Maybe you have to submit that to the office and let them know how much mileage you put on for that week or for that particular call. So let's keep these dates here, and I'm going to put in Matthew. So I did add some data for Matthew on this past week. Let's do spreadsheet view, create report. And notice here we had the 26 miles on 21st, and 50 miles on the 25th. And again, this can download to Excel. Notice at the bottom it does give you a total mileage as well. So there you have it. That is pretty much the CRM system in the 2.0. Not a lot different than the 1.0 version, just a couple of different ways of getting information, but everything is still there. Just stay tuned for other videos. I'm going to probably go down the line here. But if you have something that you want us to cover next week, for instance, we try to get these out every Monday if we can, send me an email and we'll use that as a topic. Right now, I'm just going to follow down the line here, dashboard, action items, and so on to make videos each week. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.